The sun set on Agrabah. The sky blazed with orange and red. Aladdin ran through the crowded market. He dodged merchants and their wares. He was quick and agile.
Avoiding the clumsy palace guards again.
Aladdin was a street rat, but he had a good heart. He shared his scraps with the stray dogs. He knew the city like the back of his hand. He dreamed of a better life, a life beyond the market.
Excuse me.
A beautiful young woman bumped into him. Her eyes were wide with surprise. She wore a simple robe, but her bearing was regal. Aladdin felt a connection, an instant spark. He had never met anyone like her. Aladdin was lost in her eyes. He forgot to speak. She smiled, a hint of mischief in her gaze. Then she disappeared into the crowd. Her name was Jasmine. She was the princess of Agrabah. She longed for freedom, for a life outside the palace walls. She yearned for adventure, for a taste of the world beyond her reach.
The market swirled with life, with colors and sounds. It was intoxicating, a stark contrast to the quiet formality of the palace. I've never felt so alive.
Disguised as a commoner, she escaped into the marketplace. Then she bumped into him, this quick, charming boy. His eyes held a depth she had never encountered in the polished princes vying for her hand. They were filled with laughter, with a zest for life. For a moment they stood there, their worlds colliding. She felt a connection, a spark of recognition. Then just as suddenly, he was gone. Aladdin was tricked. Jafar, the Sultan's advisor, lured him with promises of riches. Jafar sought a magical lamp hidden in the Cave of Wonders. Only a diamond in the rough could enter. The cave was guarded by a fearsome tiger head.
Remember, only touch the lamp.
It roared, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. Aladdin was scared, but he had no choice. He had to go on. He entered the cave. Jewels glittered, tempting him with their allure. But Aladdin remembered Jafar's warning. He touched only the lamp. The cave rumbled as he retrieved it. He ran. The cave collapsed behind him. He was trapped. Jafar had betrayed him. He was left to die. Despair threatened to consume him. Alone and afraid, Aladdin rubbed the lamp. Smoke exploded outwards. A giant blue genie appeared.
You have awakened me from my slumber. 3 wishes I shall grant you, but choose wisely.
The genie's booming laughter echoed through the cave. His eyes twinkled with mischief. Aladdin, still reeling from the shock, stammered.
I wish to be a prince.
In a whirlwind of magic, Aladdin was transformed. He found himself in a magnificent palace dressed in silks and jewels. He was rich, powerful, yet he felt a pang of emptiness. He thought of Jasmine. Aladdin, now Prince Ali, rode through the streets of Agrabah.
He showered the people with gold, hoping to win their favor.
He sent gifts to the palace, hoping to impress Jasmine.
He longed to see her again, to tell her it was him, the boy from the market.
But he was trapped in his own charade. He feared she wouldn't accept him as he truly was. Jasmine watched from her balcony.
She saw his extravagance, his attempts to impress.
She saw through his disguise.
She yearned for the boy in the marketplace, the boy with the mischievous grin and the eyes full of life.
She longed for a love built on truth, not on riches and titles.
Jafar seethed with envy. He craved power, ultimate control. He wanted Jasmine for his bride. He wanted to rule Agrabah. He saw through Aladdin's disguise. He knew the prince was nothing but a common street rat. He plotted to expose Aladdin, to snatch the lamp and to claim its magic for himself.
Jafar used his magic, twisting the Sultan's trust, manipulating events to his favor. He created chaos, turning the Sultan against Aladdin. Aladdin, unaware of Jafar's treachery, was caught in the web of deceit. He fought to prove his worth, to win Jasmine's heart, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. Jafar, fueled by the lamp's power, transformed into a monstrous serpent. He wreaked havoc on Agrabah. Buildings crumbled. The Sultan cowered in fear. Only Aladdin stood against him.
Aladdin, stripped of his princely facade, was just a boy. But he was brave, he was quick. He used his wits and the genie's last wish to outsmart Jafar.
Aladdin tricked Jafar, trapping him within the lamp. Agrabah was saved. But in the aftermath, Aladdin knew he couldn't keep up the charade. He revealed his true identity to Jasmine. He stood before her, not as a prince, but as himself, a street rat with a good heart. He waited, his heart pounding for her judgment. Jasmine looked at Aladdin. She saw his bravery, his kindness. She saw the boy she met in the marketplace, the boy who had stolen her heart. She didn't care about titles or riches. She wanted him, the real Aladdin.
She reached out and took his hand.
The Sultan, witnessing their love, saw the folly of his ways. He realized that true worth lay not in titles, but in the content of one's character. He welcomed Aladdin not as a prince, but as a son.
And so, love triumphed. It shattered the barriers of class and social standing. It proved that true connection lay in shared values, in understanding, and in accepting each other for who they truly were.
Aladdin and Jasmine stood on the palace balcony. The city of Agrabah glittered beneath a canopy of stars. They held each other close. They had faced danger and deceit. They had emerged stronger, their love deepened by their shared experiences. They looked to the future, a future filled with hope and promise.
Aladdin was no longer a street rat.
Jasmine was no longer bound by the restrictions of her title.
They were equals, partners in love and adventure. They were ready to write their own story, a story of love, courage, and the enduring power of a wish made on a star.